There he is, the favourite, not just for this fight, but the favourite to win the flyweight gold medal here in Sydney. Bolат Jumadilov of Kazakhstan, Olympic silver medalist and gold in the World Championship. There's Kennedy Keniata, who he's to face, but Jumadilov, Steve, goes in as a red-hot favourite here.
I would think so, yeah, but, you know, you say he's a favourite for the gold medal. He's certainly one of them, but, you know, if he wins this one, he's got that very useful Armenian to face just to get a place in the semi-final. So, very tough division, this one.
Keniata, 21 years old.
Yes, and Keniata, by the way, he's boxed all over the place. He's boxed in France, he's boxed in Mauritius, and he's very proud of winning the African Championships in Egypt to qualify for this. Big table tennis fan as well.
Both these fighting for the first time in these games, both got buys in the opening round. So second round in the flyweight division. Bolat Jumadilov from Kazakhstan in the red corner, Kennedy Keniata of Zambia in the blue. Jumadilov, world champion in '99. Silver medalist in '95 in the World Championships, bronze medalist in the Worlds in '97, and he's been one of the performers, if not the performer, in the last few years of this division. But that was a good shot from the Zambian, didn't score.
We're finding quite a lot of bias against some of these African countries and the Asians as well. They're not what we call favoured nations, Simon. Well, having said that, the Kazakhstani didn't register either of those two very good punches.
So the buttons aren't working, and again from the Zambians, nothing being scored. Look at that, tremendous blows going in, no score. Maybe the technology is faltering, or some of them haven't woken up quite yet.
Well, Keniata looks like he's pretty useful. He's got long arms, and this lad from Kazakhstan is going to struggle here, I think. And Keniata is much more computer-friendly, for want of a better phrase. Oh, good right there from him. And once again, Simon, nothing scoring.
This is all in vain. I can't believe what I'm seeing, unless there's a problem with the computers, and suddenly we're going to see something like a 5-3 score in a minute, because this is ridiculous. It's been a good round, plenty of decent punches landed, nothing scoring.
Well, 10 seconds to go, and you'd have thought these two hadn't landed a single blow, because the computer has not picked up one single point. But on sort of looking at it with the naked eye, a pretty good start, I think, for Keniata.
Yes. More than held his own there, but, well, the judges have had an even round, but I can't believe the scoring. There must be a fault. But it makes you wonder if they're having a problem with the computer and it continues, what are they going to do?
Well, they always say it's not the computer, it's the people that press the buttons, but on this occasion they couldn't fail to see that there was, what, 30 or 40 good scoring blows landed in that round?
Well, you make your own mind up, but I find it absolutely mystifying. But before we start criticising the judges, we've got to say that there may be a computer fault here. Either way, it's pretty serious. Well, they haven't made any adjustment. Good shot, and at last, the first blow. Suddenly they're racing onto the buttons. I think there must have been a problem in the first round.
Maybe someone didn't boot the computer. Oh, a nice little right there from Jumadilov, and well, he might just have sussed this style now of the Zambian.
Good shot. Jabs don't count, even though his head jerked back.
Some of the jabs don't count, Simon, until the Cubans get in the ring, and then they seem to count for an awful lot. But then, of course, the Cubans are a breed apart.
Zambia landed a right hand, didn't count. Jumadilov landed one that did count. But it's a relief to see the scoreboard moving. Jumadilov looking the business now. The Zambian isn't daunted by it.
Well, the prospect, I believe, of the Kazakhstani here against the Armenian in the quarter-final is a mouth-watering one. I think they're going to be made for each other.
Still got plenty of work to do here. But on the scoreboard, plenty of authority. 4-1, Jumadilov leads. Third round has just started, no addition to the score. Bolat Jumadilov of Kazakhstan in red. Oh, it's a terrific shot from Kennedy Keniata, and you can see Jumadilov really hurt by that.
Lovely long right uppercut, wasn't it? Beautiful punch. And as I said in the first round, you know, although there was no score after 2 minutes, he looked like he'd had the physical attributes to be able to really pick up some points here with this computer. Lovely right again there from Keniata.
Didn't score, but he's reduced the arrears, now just a point behind. It's a real fight, this, and Jumadilov has got to get working again. Good jab, and it scored.
Well, Keniata's not going to win this one now, but I'll tell you what, Simon, he's put up a very good effort, hasn't he?
Yep. And it's a little alarming for Jumadilov that he's getting picked off by these rights which come from a long, long way back.
He's obviously a tough guy, feels he can take them okay, and he's prepared to take them to get his own punches in. He's only 5'6", this Zambian, you know, and he looks a lot taller than the 5'5" Jumadilov, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Certainly seems to outreach him. And when the fight's at long range, he's got more than an even chance, but as Jumadilov gets closer, he's landing heavy.
Once again, a very good crowd here turned up for this first session, the afternoon session. And they've got a lot to look forward to, but an 8-5 lead at the moment for the Kazakhstani.
Still not out of it, though, Kennedy Keniata. And this is far from a foregone conclusion. But he's got to have a blistering final round as Keniata here, if he's to take Jumadilov for one of these surprises. It will be one of the major surprises of the Olympics so far here, if Keniata can win this. But a good third round. It's the second round that was the dodgy one for him. There's that long right. You can see Jumadilov jerking his head back. The follow-up left didn't score. But he is being picked off, Jumadilov. His defense is not all it should be, but the aggression is counting.
And we had a look at the Kazakhstan cornerman in the previous round, the end of the previous round, and it really was going at it, wasn't he? Like a cornerman should. I mean, of course, there comes a point when you can tell them too much, but he seemed to have done his job pretty well.
2 minutes then for Keniata to pull this round.
Good start, though, for Jumadilov.
Already in the first half minute, he seems to have got the fight Within his reach. Good right, though, from Keniata. Once more, he's 4 points back, but he's going to have a bit of magic here in the closing stages.
And of course now Jumadilov have been called on to remember all he learnt when he first started boxing, and of course at this high level, to try and come through this one, because, you know, the simple fact is that he can't relax for a second, can he?
Nope. Keniata just can't get close enough to him on the scoreboard to really threaten. 11-7 into the last 45 seconds or so. He doesn't look unbeatable, though, Jumadilov.
No, I go along with that, but the Armenian who he's going to face next time out, very tricky, very competent. I've just got a feeling that Jumadilov will have his measure by a fraction.
But this has been a heavy fight for him, and perhaps surprisingly heavy. He's had to work really hard. Keniata's kept him up to his task, but Jumadilov now knows he's got this fight under control. Not doing anything too fancy in the closing seconds.
Of course, just being in the Olympic Games, of course, Simon, that really does give you a bit of a boost, doesn't it? And maybe Keniata is boxing way above himself. Well, 3 points looks to be a fairly accurate gap, doesn't it, really?
It does, no complaints, but obviously something went dramatically wrong in round one, and there should be some kind of post-mortem there. And the judges need to pep themselves up a bit, or a real look at the computer, but it didn't have any lasting effect, which is good. And Jumadilov through brave performance from Keniata, and he'll have other chances. He'll be presumably in Athens in 2004, and by then at the age of 25 will be at his peak.
Yes.
So Jumadilov takes the win. He's through to the quarter-final, and he will meet Vakhtang Darchinian of Armenia, who we saw earlier on.
Surprisingly, the crowd didn't accept that one too well, and well, Keniata getting a very good hand from this crowd as he leaves the ring. 12-9.